I was about 6 or 7, I think, at the time. And when we got home, I remember asking my mum, Mummy, what's a Jew? And why did Uncle Peter like this head preacher? He knew my mum from Alexandria. He was in the British Air Force. So we always called him Uncle Peter. So I was very close to him. So I said, why did Uncle Peter ask you to stand up in church today? And everyone clapped for you. And she said that Uncle Peter made a big mistake, and I'm going to ask him never to do that again. And he never did do it again. But I kept pressing her, and I said, Mummy, what's a Jew? But what is a Jew? And she said, don't worry, love, it's nothing bad. Mummy is Christian, and I'm baptized, and I'm part of the church, and I'm Christian, and you're Christian. We're all Christian, and you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, wow.
And that was my whole initiation about Jews. But I had actually no idea at all. I had no, like, even the most basic things that even the most assimilated of Jews knows. Like, I had no idea that the Jewish Sabbath started on Friday night and finished on Motzei Shabbos. I had no idea about Shabbat candles. I'd never heard about Shabbat candles. I didn't know about even Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Shofar, nothing. Pesach, matzahs, absolutely nothing at all. In fact, my dad was blonde as anyone could be and blue eyes, and my mom was Sephardic. More of a Sephardic background, so she had a more Jewish ethnic skin tone with brown eyes and black hair. So then when she taught me about Jews, so I figured, okay, so that's what a Jew looks like, and I couldn't possibly be a Jew because I don't look like that.
Wow.
That was it. And of course, I went to very, very strict Christian schools. I mean, my dad was the preacher, so we went to church almost every night of the week, and twice on Saturdays and 3 times on Sundays. There was always something happening. Prayer meetings, youth groups, like it was like our entire life centered around church. And in school also, we started every day with hymns and prayers in school assembly, and I was known as the preacher's kid. So the headmaster would often ask me to make a contribution in the school assembly, which I was very happy to do. I was well respected as a child, and I wasn't rebellious in any way. Like, not that I was a little saint, but I think that I was very, very heavily influenced by my father with the choices that I made. Yeah.
So was it kind of a natural stage that you would then become an ordained minister yourself? Is that the natural development?
Yes, I think that more than natural development was that, I don't know why, I really don't know why, but when I was a really little girl, I really wanted to be close to God. And every night I would say my regular formal night prayers. And always at the end, then I would say, please, God, I want to be really, really close to you. And when I get big, I'm going to work hard, and I'm going to earn a lot of money, and I'm going to give it all to you. And please help me that I can be really, really close to you. And so my father's friend, this Uncle Peter in the big church in Nottingham. So when I was about 12, he began a Christian theological college to take in young people and teach them how to work and train them to become missionaries and go into the mission field. So he'd watched me growing up, and as I was the youngest by many years, so I grew up really more as an only child. And so in my school holidays, it was a long summer holidays, and so I would go to the college and just volunteer and help. And it was a very fun place for me. There was the print shop, there was the kitchens with like massive pots and all kinds of interesting things to do and to help with. So it was more like a second home. So when I was just 16, this Uncle Peter suggested to my father, why I really think that Tony is ready to begin her spiritual training, even though I should have been 18. But he said, I think just because of my strict upbringing, because of my father and my entrenchment in the church, that he said, why don't you just send her and she'll begin her training? I think when my father drove me over, the college was very beautiful kind of English Victorian type mansion surrounded by very pretty English gardens, but a very high wall and a big gate. And when my father drove me over, we were sitting in the car, and I was only just 16. And I think he
So
was
young.
and I think my dad had a little bit of doubts. I mean, I was his little baby and I adored him, and I just followed him everywhere. It was like his little shadow. And so he looked at me and he said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" He said, "You're so young and you can change your mind. You can come back home with mommy and me, and you don't have to be pressured to make this decision at this time in your life. You can do it later." And I remember I felt so grown up, and I just looked at my father and I said, "Daddy, I'm ready. I'm ready." And he said,
Wow.
"Okay, I'll take you in."